Hey guys, today I'm going to walk you through how I set up my own solar panels to make my backyard office off-grid. I'm going to show you three things. Number one, what exactly did I purchase and how did I hook it up? Two, what am I currently running off of this thing? And three, what are the things you need to think about to do this for yourself? Let's go take a look. Starting with the roof, you'll see I have four 175 watt Renogys. Three of them are tilt mounted. The fourth was a misship by Renogy. I'll get that tilt mounted soon enough. I only consume a maximum of 1.5 kilowatts per day. So with 4 to 5 hours of sun, I only need 375 watts produced per hour. 4 times 175 is 700. However, your actuals are going to vary based on how much cloud you have, is what the season is in the winter. The angle of the sun is such that you're going to generate a lot less power than in the summer. What direction is your roof, and what angle are your panels at? I got a Bluetti charge controller battery, so it has a limit of 500 watts, but it discards anything above 500 watts. So if these things ever produce more than 500 watts, that's not going to be a problem. I did run these in a series parallel configuration, so what that means is one wire comes into here, the next, this wire connects, the negative connects to the positive here, and the negative here comes down here, and then the same thing over here. So that's these two panels running in series, and then I join those things up at the Bluetti. So let me show you what that looks like. So those cables you saw in the prior picture come down through this conduit. Remember, those are series parallel, so there you see the parallel side of it where this feeds into my 2.4 kilowatt Bluetti. As of this moment, we're going 335 watts, even though there are 700 watts of panels, because one of them is flat, plus it's winter. What do you expect? Flip side of the Bluetti, then we got two power cables with pigtails on the other side. And then this is identical to what you would expect in a traditional setup where you got circuit breakers leading to the inside. So let me go to the inside then. Switching then from the outside to the inside, those two circuits, one feeds the lights, one feeds the outlets. The outlets are all GFCI strung together, and the home office setup with my laptop plugged in, everything powered on, probably takes 100-150 watts per hour. I do have a little dorm fridge. It's 120 volt, but it's pretty efficient. It only takes 300-400 watts a day because it doesn't get open and closed that often. I have a little Bluetooth stereo. It's only 75 watts, fully cranked, and that's too much for this tiny little room. I will have a TV in here, so my personal consumption is only going to be maybe 1.5 kilowatts per day. The one call out is going to be on heat. Heater is going to destroy your power needs, so I've opted for the portable buddy Mr. Heater thing. It uses the disposable 1 gallons. I'm waiting on a filter coming from Amazon, because then what you can do is plug in a hose to one of those more traditional 5-gallon tanks. You got to get it regular, sitting right over there. So as soon as that comes, I won't have to keep rolling through these disposable tanks. But that's all I need for my needs, and I think this is perfect, and it gets me a nice, comfy little setup. Now let's talk about what you need to do to set up your own place. So if you want to do this in your own house, the very first thing you need to do is figure out what your power consumption needs are. And that you're going to have to measure in number of watts per day. So you go get a kilowatt, which is this thing you plug into the wall, and then you plug your devices into that one at a time, and you measure every single device, and you let that run for a day or two and see how many watts per day every device you're going to power consumes. If there are devices you don't own, like that TV I said I was going to get, go look at the manufacturer's specs and see how many hours per day you're going to use that and run that total, and that's what you need to have be able to get produced. However, that's not the end of the story, because inverters like the Bluetti, there's going to be a limit as to what their peak wattage is. So my dorm fridge, for example, only consumes maybe 400 watts a day, but it'll peak at 150 watts for several minutes while the compressor is running to cool that fridge down. Computers will peak high when the disk's in use or the graphics are being used. So you need to make sure your inverter can handle whatever your peak load is. And you have to add together all the peaks that you think could potentially happen. So I think my Bluetti peaks at 1,000 watts, I believe. which I will personally never ever hit. but based on your devices, you might. Then now that you got your demand side down, now you can figure out what your supply side looks like. So you can guesstimate, if you are in the US, it's probably 4 to 5 hours of peak sun per day. And then you need to determine what your degradation is. I like to plan this out in the winter time. And this is going to be based on your roof direction and your solar panel angles. So right now, my DIY solution gets about 50% efficiency. My southeast facing Tesla gets about 40%. So, figure out what inefficiency factor you want to bake in there. But then also, you need to make sure to create a bad weather backup plan. What if you do not have sun for several days? What if you get a whole lot of rain, right? What are you going to do? So what am I going to personally do? I'm personally not going to use that large monitor. I'm going to turn off the Echo Show, right? So all I really am going to have is my laptop, maybe a cell phone charger, right? And I can make my 2.4 kilowatt battery run for 3-4 days. And I'm sure within 3-4 days, obviously if there's a big rainstorm, that's going to be a problem. But I can stretch my life out for a while if need be here. And keeping in mind, this is just my backyard unit. This isn't my main house. So that's what I think you need to do. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a note in the comments, reach out to me in some way, shape, or form. Good luck.